This is the plaintiff, Thomas Rira. He says he and the defendant had an agreement. He would mow the guy's lawn, and in return, the defendant would allow him to dock his boat at his dock. He missed one lawn cutting, and next thing he knows, his boat's floating under a bridge, and it got damaged. The hot-headed defendant from California needs to chill and pay him the $1,796.45 it's going to cost him to fix his boat and make it seaworthy again. This is the defendant, Raymond Mensing. He says the plaintiff hardly ever cut his grass, but used his dock to moor his boat. One day when the plaintiff snuck onto the boat and was pulling out, he shouted, "Hey, you need to cut my grass." The plaintiff told him to bug off. He'd get to cutting his lawn when he got to it. Huh? As far as the guy's damaged boat, it's all the plaintiff's fault, not his. He's accused of sinking an agreement.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff says he and the defendant had a deal. The deal was that the plaintiff would cut the defendant's grass. The defendant would let the plaintiff use his boat, but the boat was damaged. The defendant says the plaintiff didn't live up to his end of the deal. It's the case of this boat don't float.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Thomas Rira, you are suing Raymond Mensing for $1,796.45. Most of that amount to fix your boat that you say he maliciously untied from his dock. Tell me what's going on.
Okay, Your Honor, me and Ray came to a verbal agreement. I would mow his lawn, and I would be allowed to park my boat at his slip.
Okay, when did you come to this agreement?
In May.
Okay, and then in return for mowing his lawn, how often?
Once a week.
Then you would be able to leave your boat slipped on his dock.
Yes.
Okay, that's a pretty good deal for you, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so what happens?
What happens is I was a day late mowing his lawn. He threw me off the property.
What, the first time or the 10th time? When?
In August, at the end of the season.
So he had been working
since May.
Since May.
June,
he had never complained.
No.
Your Honor.
Okay, hold on. I'll give you your turn in a minute. All right, so he had never complained according to you. And then in August, you were one day late mowing his lawn.
Yes.
What does that mean,
and
one
I
day
called
late?
him and I told him I'm visiting a sick friend and I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay.
That day, my daughter happened to be going to college, and I took the boat out in the morning. And
I thought you were visiting a sick friend.
No, the next day.
Okay.
Before I mowed his lawn.
Okay.
I came over with the lawnmower the next day.
So you were a day late, and then you took the boat out for a spin instead of mowing the lawn.
Yes.
Okay. And that angered him.
He signaled me from the shoreline, which was about a mile down from where the boat's parked. And he's yelling something. I said,
He actually chased you down?
Yes.
Okay.
And he's waving me, and I said, "I'll be back in a little while."
You didn't stop to talk to him?
No, I just kept going because I
spoken like a man who doesn't plan ahead. Only because I take it that it costs a lot to find a place for your boat, and all you had to do is mow the guy's lawn yesterday or this morning, and then the guy is obviously angry because he gets in the car and rides down a mile so he can run into you and talk to you, and then you're like, "Talk to you later," and you keep going.
I said, "I'll see you in an hour." I pointed to 1 hour.
See you in an hour. I'm not going to stop and talk to you. You're not worth my time. Like, yeah, okay. Not much of a planner.
Okay.
Okay.
So I come back, I tie up the boat, go home, get my lawnmower, come over, and he asked me to leave the property, get off the property.
You didn't see that coming.
No. And I left the property.
Okay. Did he tell you to get your boat off his property?
Not at the time.
No?
No.
Okay. And?
That's when the next day I didn't see my boat on where the dock was, where it was docked. And I called my brother and I asked him to give this gentleman a call and see where my boat is, because it wasn't where it was docked. So my brother told me that he moved it to a neighbor's dock.
Your brother told you that he had told your brother
yes.
that he moved it to a neighbor's dock?
Yes.
Did that neighbor give permission?
I don't know.
Okay, so you go over to the neighbor's dock and what?
And I take my boat and I bring it so I could put it on a trailer.
Okay.
And I take it out of the water and I notice that it's damaged.
Okay, do you have pictures of the damage?
Yes, I do.
Let me see the pictures of the damage and any proposal that you got to fix the damage.
So that's the rub rail that's damaged from slamming against the
What kind of
dock.
boat is this?
This is a 18-and-a-half-foot Sea Ray.
What year?
It's a 1975.
75?
Yes.
Is that the original rail?
Yes.
All right. So now tell me about the day that he was talking about, where he said, "I'll be there tomorrow," and then instead took the boat out for a ride.
Never called me. The day he snuck onto the property was
Tell me about the day that he was supposed to mow the lawn and didn't.
the end of June and July. He was incarcerated because he was drunk. He was in jail. So somebody
For
had
that
him.
long? He was.
Yeah.
How long was he incarcerated? Was he a DUI?
Yeah, no, not him. He wasn't. He was some kind of DWI or whatever they do. I don't know.
I'm sorry. How long were you in jail?
Total 37 days.
37 days. What was the charge?
Obstruction.
Obstruction of what?
Justice.
How?
I told the police officer my girlfriend wasn't driving the vehicle, and they arrested her for a DWI.
How many DUIs has she had?
One.
This one?
Yes.
How many DUIs have you had?
3.
Why would you think that? Like, what is your motive to give such a lie?
It wasn't a lie. It was the truth. I didn't know she had pulled up a foot at the gas station.
So they charge you with obstruction.
Yes.
And you were in how long?
37 days. And my girlfriend actually went there and mowed his lawn.
Did the girlfriend mow your lawn?
No, she was not allowed on the property.
Back then?
Yeah, we didn't want her on the property at all. She had already come over many a time, throwing his belongings on my lawn, telling me she didn't want to ever see him again. And they've had 911 called to their house many a times. The two of them are constantly at odds with one another. She one night was trying to kill herself jumping off a bridge and had the police flying around looking for her, searching my backyard because his boat was in my backyard.
Okay. And so during those 37 days, you had to have somebody else mow the lawn?
Mr. Delgado's maintenance people mowed my lawn.
Okay. What did he pay you to mow the lawn, or were you doing it as a favor?
It was $60 a day for the guy to mow the lawn and blow the leaves and everything.
Okay. And how many times did he hire you?
We went there about 7, 8 times.
It was the end of June and the whole month of July.
Okay.
And then when he got out, he was enrolled in AA, and I had told him he was a much nicer person when he wasn't drinking, but he turned around and went back to drinking again.
All right. So now tell me about the day that he was talking about.
The day he snuck onto the property,
Yeah.
he snuck on from the next door neighbor's yard and jumped into the boat and shot out without saying a thing to me. So I chased him to the end of the canal.
How'd you chase him? By foot or in
No,
car?
I got in the car and went to the end of the canal
Where you know you'd run into him.
where I know he'd have to go past me. And I told him basically, don't bring the boat back. I'm done. Because he was drunk at that point too, yelling abusively, go f- yourself. I'll mow your lawn when I feel like it. And out he went. So at that point, when he came back, I had called 911. Here's a police report having him physically thrown off my property.
All right. So you tell him, don't bring that boat back.
Right.
You know, I'm
And
not-
he brings the boat back.
he brings the boat back and he doesn't stop in to speak with you then either?
No.
Okay. So he brings the boat back and then he leaves. And then according to him, he's leaving to go get his
He went and got
mowing
the lawnmower,
equipment.
but he was so drunk, I was like, and at that point, I basically I was up
So
to
what
here.
did you do? Did you untie his boat?
No, I had Steve move the boat, here's the picture,
To where?
to the next door neighbor's yard.
Why does the next door neighbor want his boat on there?
Because the police officer said I could remove the boat.
No, he didn't. And if he did, either the police officer will give you very bad advice. You're going to have to find that police officer, prove he said it, and sue the police department. Or he didn't say that. Why would a police officer say, "Yeah, I got an idea. Why don't you take his unwanted boat and make it your neighbor's problem and put him on your neighbor's lot?"
That's what he told me.
Oh, come on!
I'm just
What did your
telling you.
neighbor tell you when you did that?
He wasn't there. It's a rental house.
So yeah, it's a rental house. Tough for him. Have the drunken, boating under the influence guy on his lawn.
I didn't know what else to do.
Okay, so bartering. Is bartering too risky a thing?
Not at all. Consenting adults and all that.
No. It's consenting adults, but it's a little loosey-goosey. You know, are you hiding behind your child? Oh, no. What do you think of bartering? I mean, is it something that, it's a little loose? I agree with you. That it's a little dangerous. Yes. Anybody ever barter here? No. You never bartered? You could. That T-shirt would be worth. You could probably cut somebody's grass and get 10 of those T-shirts. You know that? Going inside the courtroom.
Let me tell you what else to do. You tell the police he's a trespasser now. This agreement's over. You bring the police back when he's there. You wait a few days for it to pan out for him to get the boat out. But you were so angry that this guy so disrespected you that you just went like this, took the boat, and next thing you know, the boat is floating down. You get it where? It's not on the neighbor's lot. It's like floating where?
Yes, I did find it at the next door neighbor's house.
You did find it at the
Yes.
next door neighbor's house. And is it tied up?
Oh, yes, it is tied up.
But
There is no bumpers.
there were no bumpers,
No.
and that's how you suspect the damage
Yes.
happened?
Yes.
You think the damage could have happened if you hit something when you were intoxicated shooting birdies at him?
I'm not sure.
Do you have a drinking problem?
Number one.
Do you
And
have a
number
drinking
two,
problem? Do you have a drinking problem?
Yes,
Someone
ma'am.
with 3 DUIs has a drinking
Yes,
problem.
ma'am.
Are you in AA?
yes.
Are you trying?
Yes, I am.
All right, how long have you been sober?
About a month.
What did you want to say that you were raising your hand?
When he would take the boat out and he was so drunk he couldn't bring the boat back, this is where he would take the boat when he couldn't bring the boat home. This is a Union Street pier, and as you can see how it's open to the bay, this is where his rub rail being tied up to that dock.
Yeah, do you have any pictures of the rub rail being fine before they put it on the neighbor's yard?
No.
Yeah, on a 95 boat with an original rub rail?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, 75 boat, thank you. On a 1975 boat with an original rub rail? I mean, come on, right?
This is also
Just
pictures.
stop, both of you stop. You guys were friends for how long?
Couple of years.
Okay, you're not now. Go your way. Go your way. You cannot prove to me that the damage to your 1975 boat's rub rail is entirely due to them putting it on the neighbor's yard. If the neighbor were here suing him, I would love that case. I would so enter a judgment against you, but you're not the neighbor, okay? You shouldn't have done that, put his boat on the neighbor's yard, but you still have to prove that as a result of that bad thing, that's what caused the damage, which you'd only be able to, I'm not inviting you to speak, which you'd only be able to do if you had some proof that it was pristine as a 1975 rub rail, okay, before that, which of course you and I both know you can't. So go home, go home.
Thank you.
Plaintiff comes out of this case empty-handed. Step right in over here next to me and tell me where do you go from here? Step up close.
I wouldn't advise anybody to park their boat next to his yard because they might untie it.
Did you try to sneak out on him there on the boat that day?
Yeah, my daughter had left for college, and I needed a little, dad time to just,
How about the danger of drinking and boating? Obvious.
Very
Obvious.
dangerous. Very dangerous.
Deadly,
Yes.
possibly,
And
at times.
that wasn't
what do you
true. And one thing that wasn't mentioned in court, which I'm sorry it wasn't, is that he had another boat put in there right away
Okay.
after he moved the boat.
Thank you.
He wanted more money.
All right down there.
He was going bankrupt.
All right, so step in here. What's your reaction to the outcome here? Go home. That's your ruling.
It's fine by me. I didn't want to do this in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem is now he's got a brother that wanted a boat slip in my house. So because of what happened here, his brother's not going to be able to have a boat slip in my backyard next year.
Okay, Harvey.
Okay, here's the thing. If you decide to do something like bartering, it is especially important, more important than when you're dealing with money, to write down specifically what you're supposed to do, what the other person's supposed to do, all of the conditions, and what happens if the other person doesn't pull their end of the deal. That will do it for this case. The litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.